Morning everyone. Wasn't that really cool? It's been a minute since we've put out a video and we thought it was about time we did so. We are in historic Tombstone.
Tombstone, Arizona, home of the OK Corral.
Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, Virgil Earp, Morgan Earp, the bad boys. I can't remember who the nasty gunfighters were, but right across the street you can see OK Corral. And this is what it looks like up the block. We got a cowpoke crossing the road. We got in yesterday and did a quick tour around, but it was busy. So we wanted to show you what it's like when there's not herds of touri like us around. So walking up on Fremont Street in Tombstone, we're seeing some of the sights, and across the street is Tombstone Cooperage, which was formerly Jack Crabtree Livery Stable, and the San Jose, Tombstone's first lodging house. So that's really cool.
This place is so cool, man. Tombstone is probably one of my most favorite movies. It's definitely my favorite Western. So across the street from us is the original Birdcage Theatre, opened in 1881.
Welcome to the world famous Birdcage Theatre. Feel free to look around, take a few pictures while I tell you about our history. The Birdcage was built in 1881, survived the fires of 1881 and 1882, and then survived being locked up with everything inside for 45 years. From 1889, when the mine shut down, until 1934, when the family that still owns the building bought it. They discovered everything had been left inside and reopened as a historic landmark. They've added a partition wall here, separating the saloon from the rest of the building. In the 1880s, you could see from the doors to the hand-painted stage and curtain. They've also converted the lights to electricity, but otherwise, our building is as original as possible. We still have the same floors that Doc Holliday and the Earps walked on in the 1880s. The Birdcage was built as a theater, saloon, gambling hall, and house of ill repute, all under the same roof. There are 14 Birdcage cribs, 7 on each side of the bridge we call the catwalk. Ladies would be up on that bridge, catch the eye of a gentleman on the floor, and take him up that narrow staircase to be entertained. We were only open 8.5 years, but those top few steps were worn down to the thickness of a silver dollar. On either side of the catwalk, we have show bills hanging from the last act to perform here in 1889, the Human Fly. These ladies started out on a trapeze doing tricks and flips, and for the grand finale they walked on the ceiling like flies. It was a very popular act at the Birdcage because when their feet went north, those skirts headed south. Right here is our original Cherrywood Bar. The diamond dust mirrors came from Paris, France. Our bar was built, but when it was finished, the railroad wouldn't take it on as freight. So we opened with a makeshift bar. This one sailed to Guaymas, Mexico, and then came by wagon train to Tombstone. It was put in place right where you see it for the grand opening December 26, 1881. There were 16 gunfights, 26 people were killed. We have about 140 bullet holes in our building. There is a .45 caliber slug down here in the front of the bar, still visible with a flashlight. Straight up from that, in the ceiling is a .32. There's a .45 ricochet on the show bill frame, and there's a .44 caliber slug over there in the wall to the right of Fatima. She danced here in 1881, sent that portrait in 1882. It's been hanging in here ever since. Look closely and you'll see a knife slash in her skirt right below her knees. Looks like she's got a second belly button too, but that bottom one is a bullet hole. She has 6 in her canvas. And 6 must have been her lucky number, because when you count the toes on her foot, you will count 6 of them. And this room is just a small part of our building. Behind the partition wall, there's a whole lot more to see. You can still see the gambling hall where Doc Holliday dealt faro. That table sits in its original spot in the wings. The blackjack and dice tables sit on the theater floor, and the grand piano sits in front of the hand-painted stage. Up on our stage, you'll see photographs of men and women that performed here. You can also see a full-sized horse-drawn hearse, the Black Mariah. She served our town for 36 years, carrying bodies to Boot Hill and the city cemetery. One of 8 made by Cunningham Coach Works in Rochester, New York. She's trimmed in 24-karat gold and sterling silver. The Black Mariah was purchased by Watt and Tarbell Undertakers in 1881 for $8,000. They said she ate a cowboy for breakfast every day. Today she is the last of those 8 made known to exist, and she is worth nearly $2 million, making her one of Tombstone's most valuable antiques. Downstairs you'll see the poker pit, where the West's longest running poker game took place. The game here lasted for 8 years, 5 months, 3 days around the clock. Bat Masterson, Diamond Jim Brady, Adolphus Bush, and George Hurst met here 4 times a year to play together at that table. Our wine cellar still has bottles and barrels in it that are left over from the 1880s, and the 2 bordello bedrooms are fully furnished because they thought the women would come back when the mines reopened, but they never did reopen the mines.
So that was a little bit of Tombstone. We're here for a couple days, so we're gonna have a few more videos about this place. But now we're going over to Bisbee. And Bisbee is supposed to be
Even better.
even better. So let's go check it out.